King Saul gathered an army and took some of the men into the hill country. The rest of the army went with Saul's son Jonathan to the city of Gibeah. Israel's enemies, the Philistines, were in the land. The Philistines came out to fight the Israelites. They had more chariots, more horses, and more soldiers. The Israelites were outnumbered. They were all afraid. Some of them hid. Saul wanted to ask God for help. Maybe if he made an offering to God, they would win the battle. There was one problem. Only the priests, like Samuel, were allowed to give offerings to God. Saul waited, but Samuel did not come. Saul's soldiers started to leave, so Saul decided to make an offering to God himself. Then Samuel showed up. "Saul, what are you doing?" Samuel asked. "You hadn't come, and the men were leaving me. I wanted to ask for God's help before we went into battle against the Philistines," Saul replied. "You have disobeyed God," Samuel said. Saul was king, not a priest. It was a sin for Saul to make the sacrifice. "You will not be king much longer. God is going to find someone obedient to be king." Sometime later, Samuel came to Saul with a message from God. God wanted Saul to attack the Amalekites. God wanted Saul to destroy everything, but after Saul defeated the Amalekites, he only destroyed things that weren't valuable. God told Samuel, "I regret that I made Saul king because he does not obey me." Samuel confronted Saul and told him what God had said. "I did obey him," Saul argued. "I only saved the best animals to sacrifice to the Lord." Samuel asked, "Does God care more about obedience or sacrifices? You rejected his instruction, so God has rejected you as king." Saul admitted his sin and pleaded for forgiveness. Samuel said, "God has taken away your kingship today, and he is giving it to another king." God gave the Israelites a king, but Saul did not obey God. God had a plan to send his son, Jesus. King Jesus trusted and obeyed God perfectly and died so sinners could be forgiven and accepted.